What's up, guys? My name is Paris Head, and I just wanted to make a quick video about the Tennessee Volunteers. This is a team that I think a lot of people are sleeping on. They're very underrated heading into 2018, and I'm having a hard time understanding why they're why these experts are projecting these guys to not even make a bowl game. You serious? Why these experts are saying that if they do make a bowl game, it'll be miraculous. It'll be a great achievement for Coach Pruitt in his first year at Tennessee. And I think that comes down to three main reasons. I think the first thing that people are underestimating is the impact that coaching has on a team. Whether it's a talented team with a bad coach, or a not so talented team with a great coach. Coaching makes all the difference in the world, guys. And I think we saw that with Tennessee, with the team that was consistently having top 10 recruiting classes, but couldn't quite put it all together on the field. I think he was very lucky, which allowed him to get those 8-9 win seasons, but he was never a good coach. He never once gave me any reason to believe he was a good coach. He wasn't good at Cincinnati, he wasn't good at Tennessee. Simple. Then you look at a coach like Jeremy Pruitt. Been successful everywhere he's been. Defenses have always been elite everywhere he's been. And he's a guy that's come in to Tennessee and has really started to put the pieces in place, has really started to establish a foundation that will allow this team to be successful for years to come. Okay, first thing he did when he got on campus was put together one of the best coaching staffs in the nation. I mean, they're elite. Every position, every phase of the game, this staff is elite. That's the first thing he did. Second thing that he's doing, which I think is very, very important, is he's getting the entire program on the same page, all singing to the same tune, from the assistant coaches to the players, to the trainers, to the equipment guys, to the video guys, to the academic team. Everybody's on the same page. And if you look at any successful program in any sport, I guarantee there's an extreme amount of continuity within that organization. Everyone is thinking in the same vein. Even if you look at it from a business perspective, the elite businesses in the world, whether it be Apple or Microsoft, whoever it is, they're all on the same accord from the top to the bottom. So I think that's huge. And it bodes well for Tennessee as the seasons progress, as the seasons go on, that they're all on the same page. So that's the first thing. People are underestimating the impact coaching has on a team. Second thing, people are underestimating how weak the SEC East really is. The East has been weak for several years now, and it's been kind of begging for someone to step up and to claim the throne as best team in the East. And Georgia finally stepped up last season, ran the table in the East. Finally, after all these years, they finally did it, and people want to crown them. I'm going to make a video about why I think Georgia is overrated, but for now, we're going to focus on Tennessee. The East is weak. Okay, whether it's Kentucky, Vandy, Missouri, South Carolina, Florida, all those teams are weak. Okay, South Carolina, you can argue is a decent team, but I think they're overrated. They're benefiting from a very weak East. Now, I do think in the next couple of years, the East will be very good and will be on par with the West. But for now, I'm not buying the East right now. I'm not. And so people are underestimating the impact of coaching. They're underestimating how weak the East is, and they're not looking at Tennessee last season, which sounds like, what? Yeah, here we are looking at Tennessee last season. They won 4 games, which is why we think they're going to win 4 games again this year. No. Look at the schedule. Look at their wins and losses from last year. Okay, this team won 4 games last year. They lost 8. Okay. Of those 8 losses, I would say 3 of those losses easily could have went the other way. That's a Hail Mary loss to Florida, a 6-point loss to South Carolina, which, by the way, was Jared Garantano's first career start at QB, and a 3-point last possession loss to Kentucky. That's 3 games that easily, with, you might say, better coaching, right, a little bit more discipline, a little bit more focus, Team easily could have won those games and easily could have went from a 4-win team to a 7-win team in a blink of an eye. And then there's 2 more losses I want to talk about. That's Missouri and Vandy. If you look at Tennessee last season, Butch Jones was on the hot seat for the majority of that season. I know I was fully expecting him to get fired after they got drubbed by Alabama. They kept him around for some reason. And then he's continued to lose. They kept keeping him around. And I think the team had given up on him. They wanted him to get fired. I think the coaches knew that he was going to get fired any day now, so they're not all in. They were looking for their next career move, their next opportunity. And so the team wasn't all in. Okay, Tennessee played Missouri, I think the 3rd to last game of the season. And the team wasn't, the season was over. I think they had given up at that point, and they go out there and get drubbed by Missouri. I think that we can all agree that Tennessee is more talented than Missouri. And if you don't agree on that, I think you need to really see what you know about football, because you don't know much about it. You don't know much about it. If you're going to sit here and honestly believe that Missouri is more talented than Tennessee, you're crazy. And I just think that's why they lost that game. The team had given up. Okay, they go out there, they lose to LSU the next week, and then the following week they play Vandy, which, by the way, Butch Jones was officially fired after the Missouri loss. Go out there, play Vandy. They have 4 wins. Can't make a bowl game. Don't have a head coach. Coaching staff isn't committed anymore. They're trying to find their next career move. Season's over. Go out there and get drubbed by Vandy. And I think we should all be able to agree that Tennessee is more talented than Vandy. And so when you look at it, I can say with a straight face and have no problem believing that Tennessee easily could have been a 9-win team last season. If they go out and win those first 3 games against Florida, Kentucky, and South Carolina, they have 7 wins going into the Missouri game. They're playing for something. They could easily have beaten Missouri. Easily could have beaten Vandy. Easily could have been a 9-win team last season. As bad as they were, they could have won 9 games last season in the very, very weak SEC East. And I don't know why it's so hard for people to believe. I really don't. I'm really having a hard time wrapping my mind around why it's so hard for people to believe that. But I think this team has a lot of talent. Like I said earlier, one thing Tennessee did do well under Butch Jones was recruit. They were consistently a top 10 recruiting class, and they have talent on that roster. And I think Coach Pruitt came in, did a great job of getting some immediate impact freshmen, and did a great job getting some JUCO guys that are going to come in and immediately contribute to this team. First guy I think about is Dominic Wood Anderson, #1 JUCO tight end in the nation last year for 2018. And he's going to come in and be an absolute animal. Wait till you guys see this guy. I'm telling you, he's the real deal. He's going to give us a very potent threat in the middle of that field. Going to be very strong in the run game. Then you look at our 2 split receivers in Jawan Jennings, 6'3", 225. Marquez Callaway, 6'2", 210 or so. Those guys can go up and high point the ball. Okay, Jawan Jennings didn't play in 2016. He got hurt first game of the season, didn't play again the rest of the season. But he's the guy, if you saw him in 2015, I'm sorry, he played in 2016. He didn't play in 2017. But if you saw the 2016 season, he's a guy that whenever they gave him a chance to win those 50-50 balls, he pretty much always came down with it. But they just didn't give him very many opportunities to go up there and do that. And that's, again, poor coaching. And then if you look at Marquez Callaway, same thing for him last season, 2017. He was winning those 50-50 balls, but after the Florida game, for some reason, they stopped throwing him the ball. Again, it comes back to coaching. Those guys should be getting 4 or 5 jump balls per game. Similar to what we saw with Georgia last year, throwing it to Javon Wims. He won those 50-50 balls majority of the time. That was Jake Fromm's kind of security blanket. Oh, I don't know what to do with the ball. Throw it up to Wims and make a catch. Tennessee has 2 of those type of guys, along with a big-time tight end that I think is. He's a first-round talent. I think those 2 receivers are first-round talents. I think Dominic Wood Anderson is a first-round talent. Then they have 2 more 6'2" guys that are going to be in the slot. One of those was our leading receiver last season. Guys, we have a lot of weapons on offense. I think our O-line is underrated. They have a great O-line coach in Will Friend, which Coach Pruitt came out and said, Of the two teams that have ran the ball successfully on that have ran the ball successfully on Alabama for like the past decade, they had one thing in common, and that's that Will Friend was the O-line coach, and that was Georgia and Colorado State. And I've already seen tremendous improvement from our O-line play just in the spring and in the summer. This team looks a lot better on the O-line. Our running backs, we have a stable of backs. Ty Chandler, Tim Jordan, Maudry London, who I don't know much about, a guy from Michigan State. But Ty Chandler and Tim Jordan, they're more scat back type guys. They were recruited for the last system under Butch Jones. But they're very similar to John Kelly Jr. and Alvin Kamara. Not the biggest guys, but they run a lot bigger than they are. They can catch the ball out of the backfield. They're not scared to run you over. They're quick, they're agile, fluid runners, explosive playmakers. I think the running game will be good. I think the pass game will be good. I think this offense will be one of the best in the SEC. I really, really do. I want to come in here and say it so that when it happens, people aren't, oh my gosh, nobody saw this coming. No, you guys didn't see it coming because you can't think for yourself. You can't look at the talent on the roster, look at the situation the team is in, and say, oh man, this team has a chance to do something. And I can't wait for the season to start so people can see what this team's going to do. And then when you look at our defense, there's a lot of question marks on defense, but I think that we have enough pieces on this defense. I think that Coach Pruitt is a good enough ball coach for us to see an immediate improvement on this defense in year one. A very immediate improvement. He's a defensive coach. Defense will be good. And I think it's going to continue to get better each week. And so this is a team that I think has a good enough defense to hold some teams. And I think the offense will be very explosive actually, and will score a lot of points on a lot of good defenses. I really do. And so when you look at all that, the talent this team has, the coaching staff this team has, and the schedule this team has, which people will say, oh my gosh, they have a pretty tough schedule. But let's not look at the schedule right now. Let's just look at the East. The East is very weak. I expect Tennessee to beat every team in the East. The only team that may be an upset will be Georgia. And like I said earlier, I'm going to make a separate video about why Georgia is overrated. But when you look at Tennessee's schedule, we'll talk about their schedule now. They have a tough 5-game gauntlet. Well, first, they open up with West Virginia, who's a top 25 team. It's supposed to have this all-world passing attack. I expect Tennessee to win that game by 3 or 4 touchdowns. I really do. 38 to something in the teens. 17, 14, 13, something like that. I really expect that. And then you look at that tough 5-game gauntlet, right? It starts with Florida, and then we got Georgia, then we got, I believe it's Auburn, then Alabama, then South Carolina. Okay, I think out of that gauntlet, that's when Tennessee will lose any game that they're going to lose this season. And I think that there's 3 teams that they have a pretty good chance to lose to: Auburn, Georgia, Alabama. Which, if they do lose those 3 teams, I still think they'll beat the rest of the teams on their schedule, and they'll be a 3-loss team, a 9-win team. And I feel like that's the worst case scenario for this team, is 3 losses. 3 losses is the worst case scenario for this team. 9 wins is the worst case scenario for this team. Now, I very much do see a scenario where Tennessee beats Auburn and where Tennessee beats Georgia. And this is an 11-win team going to the SEC Championship to play Alabama and compete for a playoff berth in Coach Pruitt's first season. I'm not going to be surprised one bit. The only surprise that would happen for me this season is if Tennessee somehow beats Alabama in that first game, which I think Bama is loaded. I think they have the best player in the country in Najee Harris. And I just think this team is going to be pretty much unstoppable this year. They're going to run the table 15-0 is what I think. But I think Tennessee is going to have a great season, especially considering everybody expecting them to not make a bowl game. This team's going to win 9, 10, 11 games. And I have no problem saying that. And so I just want to come out and make a quick video about it, let all you guys know that, hey, not everybody is believing what the media is saying about Tennessee, especially Tennessee fans. I want you guys to know, guys, we don't need to be coming into this season hoping for a bowl game. we're gonna get a bowl game just because we're in the East. The East is so weak, guys. We need to be hoping for an SEC championship appearance in year one with Coach Pruitt. That's my expectation. A bowl game? I mean, yeah, we're gonna get a bowl game. We're not even worried about that, guys. This team's gonna be very, very good. If you go out and watch the practices, watch this team practice under Butch Jones, watch this team practice under Coach Pruitt in the spring, watch this team practicing now in fall camp. It's a completely different team. This team is going to be a lot better than people think, I'm telling you. And I can't wait for the season to start. I can't wait for September 1 for us to go out there and smack on West Virginia. And I already know the narrative is going to be, oh, this West Virginia team isn't who we thought they were. They're overrated. Okay. Go out there and beat Florida. Oh, yeah, Dan Mullen's first year. Florida's not very good this year. And then we'll go out there and give Georgia a game, or potentially beat Georgia. That's when we're really going to turn some heads. So I just want the Tennessee fan base to start believing it, because it's going to happen. Okay, stop going on social media and all these forums and stuff talking about, I'll just be happy with 6 wins. I'll be happy with the bowl game. I think that would be a great achievement. No, it won't. No, it won't. This team is way better than that. This team is way better than that. And you need to start believing it. That's all I got, guys. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Click the little bell for notifications as well, because you're not going to want to miss my breakdown on why Georgia is so overrated and why I think they're going to lose a couple of games next season. But thanks for tuning in. Again, I'm Paris Head. I'll see you guys later.